Boston Celtics fans walked into Sunday expecting another routine win. Instead, they walked out with a problem that could change the entire direction of the season. In the middle of the first quarter against the Orlando Magic, starting center Neemias Queta rolled his left ankle and immediately left the court. 6 minutes played. No return. A limp straight to the locker room. He was able to walk under his own power, but the building went silent. When a player becomes a key piece this fast, even the hint of an injury hits like a punch. Before we go any further, drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the hype button, because today we need every Celtics fan locked in. With Queta out, the Celtics had to improvise. The rotation shifted in real time. Josh Minott, Jordan Walsh, and Chris Boucher took turns filling the 5 spot, not exactly because it was the perfect plan, but because there was no other choice. The Magic went small. The Celtics followed. Coach Joe Mazzulla praised the effort. He highlighted Minott's shooting and screening. He pointed out Walsh's constant improvement regardless of position. They are chipping away. They are developing. They have potential. That matters. But potential does not erase pressure. Not when the most consistent breakout player on the roster might miss time. The center position was already the biggest question mark coming into this season after the team lost 3 rotation players. Queta answered that question better than anyone expected. Strong on the glass. Strong in pick and roll. Strong in interior defense. Strong emotionally in moments that require toughness. Losing that presence, even for a short stretch, would force the Celtics into uncomfortable territory. Luka Garza is a big body with positive counting numbers, but his defensive reliability is up for debate. Xavier Tillman has played that role before, but he has been out of the rotation. So adjustments would not be optional. They would be mandatory. Josh Minott himself admitted that the defensive mental switch from power forward to center is a challenge. Reads, coverage, when to switch, when to drop, when to protect. These decisions decide games. And the Celtics have won early this season because those decisions have been clean. Without Queta, those reads become harder and every matchup becomes a chess match. The upcoming schedule provides 1 game across 5 days, a home showdown against the Detroit Pistons on Wednesday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. A lighter stretch could allow Queta to recover if the ankle turns out to be more serious. Mazzulla offered no update after the game. The silence alone says a lot. Yes, the small ball advantages are clear. More speed, more dribble drive, more defensive pressure, more pace that could wear opponents down. The disadvantages are just as real. Less rim protection, more fatigue, more exposure to mismatches, faster rotations that leave no margin for hesitation. And now everything rests on one variable. How long will Neemias Queta be out? Can the Celtics afford to lose the most surprising contributor of their season right when chemistry is clicking? Or is this the kind of injury that forces a new identity and pushes the team into a stretch that decides the standings? What if the injury turns out worse than anyone expects and Boston is suddenly forced into the market for another big? Are the Celtics prepared for that if the recovery timeline becomes longer than anticipated? Celtics are celebrating a 3-game win streak, but the conversation today is traveling in a completely different direction. A new rumor has taken over the league. A rumor that could change the Celtics roster and competitive ceiling in a way that few expected this early in the season. Analyst Bill Simmons has put Trey Murphy III directly in Boston's sightline, and the proposal is not small. It is bold, it is expensive, and it has already divided analysts and fans because of what it suggests about how far the front office is willing to go in the 2025 to 2026 campaign. Simmons laid out the idea during the latest episode of the Bill Simmons podcast. The concept would send New Orleans Pelicans forward Trey Murphy III, just 25 years old, and already one of the most respected two-way wings in the league, to Boston in exchange for a large draft package and multiple players. His suggestion included guard Anfernee Simons, whose contract expires at the end of the season, plus the Boston first-round pick in the year 2026, the worst pick swap with San Antonio in the year 2028, an unprotected pick in the year 2031, and rising rookie Hugo Gonzalez. It is the type of package that forces a front office to sit down immediately because it tests the balance between the present and the future. Murphy's value is clear. He is on a team-friendly $25 million annual contract. He defends. He shoots. He raises the floor of every lineup he plays in. After only 4 seasons, he has become one of the most efficient perimeter weapons in the Western Conference. For a Celtics squad that has built a top-tier identity around wings and spacing, adding another elite shooter with length could instantly push the rotation to an even higher level. The scoring pressure taken off Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown would be obvious. The floor spacing would shape defensive protections around the league. The potential is massive, but here is where the trigger point lies. To acquire Trey Murphy III, Boston would be sacrificing 3 first-round picks and 2 rotation pieces. That level of sacrifice is the type of decision that can define a franchise for years. But is this the moment to strike while the roster is hot and the championship window is wide open? Is this the move that finally builds an unstoppable 5-man unit from opening tip to closing minutes? Or does a deal this heavy risk losing too much depth and too much flexibility just when chemistry is finally taking shape? The question is simple, but the answer will shake the season. Should the Celtics really go all in for Trey Murphy III right now? The Boston Celtics have been holding the center rotation together through effort and discipline, but there is a new discussion gaining volume around the league. A discussion that could reshape this roster without touching the core. Neemias Queta continues to impress. Luka Garza brings touch on offense. Chris Boucher and Xavier Tillman provide physicality and reliability. They compete every night, and they deserve full credit. But there is a growing belief that Boston might be one step away from true balance, and that step might be the acquisition of Daniel Gafford. With Jason Tatum still recovering from Achilles surgery, the Celtics have leaned even harder on spacing, guard creation, and defensive structure. That makes the stability at the 5 more valuable than ever. Daniel Gafford has emerged in league speculation because he offers something the Celtics do not currently have on a nightly basis. He protects the rim at a playoff level. He screens with purpose. He finishes lobs without hesitation. He averaged 12.4 points and 6.3 rebounds in 22 minutes last season and started 22 playoff games during Dallas' run to the finals in the year 2024. There is no confusion about his role. There is no need to adjust the playbook. He simply fits. A lineup built around Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Daniel Gafford works in a clean and predictable way. It keeps everyone in their natural responsibilities. It gives Brown and White security on drives. It gives Tatum a reliable rim target once he returns. The team does not need a star center who dominates possessions. They need someone who keeps the structure stable, and Gafford brings that to the floor without changing the identity. But this is where the urgency rises. Boston is operating near the luxury apron. The championship window is tied directly to Brown and Tatum in their athletic prime. The front office has to decide now whether this is the moment to invest in pure stability rather than wait for luck or internal growth. Gafford offers dependability with a clean contract. He does not raise the ceiling dramatically, but he eliminates the one weakness that can cost a playoff series. So here is the question that turns this rumor into pressure. If the position at center is the last missing piece in a roster that is already winning, can the Celtics afford to ignore a chance to solidify it with a playoff-proven big who fits perfectly into their structure? Or will hesitation in this moment force the franchise to look back later and wonder why they let Daniel Gafford slip away when the window was wide open? If you want the Celtics to stay competitive at the highest level, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and smash the hype button right now because this decision could define the season.